1 year ago, in 2013, the Rana Plaza factory in Bangladesh collapsed, killing 1,133 people and injuring many more. And since then, we've sort of amassed this global movement to look at the supply chain and who actually made your clothes, the people behind this, and trying to increase the awareness of ethical fashion.
I think in the next 5 to 10 years, we just hope that the percentage of clothes that are actually ethically manufactured and have transparent supply chains is greater than it is today. The good thing about the incident is that it actually has gained a lot of attention. Accidents like this happen all the time in the garment industry and don't get a lot of press. This one happened to have the greatest death toll in history, so that's one of the reasons it's got so much attention.
We just want to increase the awareness to make people aware that what they buy actually came from somewhere. It just doesn't come from a store on a hanger. Someone made that somewhere in the world and it was transported here somehow, and just for you to be aware of that makes you much more of a conscious consumer.
The main goal of the day this year has been to encourage people to wear their clothes inside out on April 24th to remember the victims of Rana Plaza and get people to ask the question, where do your clothes come from? And also educate people about sustainable fashion and better shopping options, transparent clothing companies.
We want you to ask the question, who made my clothes? The likelihood is that you don't know who made your clothes, and then tweet at the company, ask them who actually made this thing that I'm wearing.
I'm Dominika Peterson and I'm Director of Academic Outreach for Fashion Revolution Day USA.
I'm Johanna Björk and I am the Design Director of Fashion Revolution Day USA.
Urban Air Market is a great San Francisco partner for us because they support the whole sustainable fashion movement here in the Bay Area. They're promoting a lot of amazing designers who do really incredible work in terms of creating local products, sourcing sustainable materials, using ethical manufacturing practices. So we're really happy to have such a great partner.
If you buy something at the Urban Air Market, you know who made it because you can actually talk to them and see them.
We can show how proud we are about the things that we wear. For instance, I know this is made in USA and is locally produced with textiles from here, and the designer is from here, and I know this is fair paid, and it's a beautiful T-shirt that I can wear with pride. So this is a special day in where all of us can show how important it is to wear the things with pride. My name is Luisa Echeverri and I'm one of the co-founders of Nomadista. Nomadista is an online destination in which we sell stories that women can wear with pride. So we sell sustainable stories from all over the world, and the most important thing is that we are very, very sure that all the people who work on the production of our clothing and accessories are people who are well paid in a fair trade way, and all the materials and the textiles and all the things that they use to produce our products are sustainable.
So the idea of the Fashion Revolution Day is to hopefully encourage many people to stop and maybe reevaluate, not just on one day, but maybe every day when they're shopping or when they're looking at their own consumption, is who are the people in the process and where is the clothing coming from. I'm Skatha Allison and I designed for the line Miss Velvet Cream. I think there's a value definitely for small production or for people who are doing limited edition, and there's a transparency through the process. But for what I do, it's all one of a kind, and that each piece is a story in itself.
I'm really happy that this campaign is taking place to raise awareness about the disasters, Rana Plaza, and other manufacturers in Bangladesh that seem to place profits above human life. And I think everybody needs to pay more attention to the way their clothes are being made. My company is Mariah Fine Knitwear. My name is Mariah and I'm based in Oakland, California. I started my company because I was passionate about design, and then when I started looking into the ways that I wanted my designs to be made, it only made sense to me in the face of the current state of our environment and our economy to use locally sourced materials and local labor. And I'm really proud that I've been able to find sources for sustainable materials and make things in the way that makes the best sense to me.
I think it's really important for small businesses to get a shot and to be able to interact directly with the public. I think that that's kind of rare these days. Now everybody wants to sell online. but it's really nice to be able to talk to people and get feedback on your product. I think that there's a lot of value in small markets and being able to buy directly from a producer. My name is Doug Wardell, and I'm with Rhodes End Bag Company. A few years ago, I bought an industrial sewing machine, and I taught myself how to sew. I'm largely self-taught, and one of the things that I came across as a material that I thought was really interesting and I wanted to work with was a material called multi-mesh. And multi-mesh is actually, it's a reused, repurposed a material. What would wind up in a landfill, they actually gather up all the scraps and remnants and then they run it in random patterns. And they typically use this as like an agricultural shade product, but it actually makes a really great material for a tote bag because it will not collect mold or mildew. And so it's a great bag to take to the gym or to use as a farmer's market bag. It's a waste product, more or less. But I think, you know, sewn correctly and used correctly, it can be really, really attractive.
I used to go to Urban Air long before I ever was even designing stuff, and have always loved it. I always found it really unique. I always found the vendors really personable and to the heart. And then when I started designing and started doing them, it's the only consistent fair or trunk show event that I will not miss if I can. My name is Adrienne Moore, and my company is Tooth and Nail Jewelry. I've always had an appreciation just for minerals and the sort of natural state that you can find raw minerals and gems in. So over time, I've developed a relationship of loving them more and more, and ended up having cancer in 2008. And so I had a lot of time where I was having surgery on my arm and had a lot of crystals and stuff around that I was playing with. And weirdly started building more and more jewelry, which I had always done for myself anyways. And started building some relationships with some gem vendors, mostly local, and then it started sort of fanning out into some archaeologists that actually dig them out themselves, the fossils. And that's where the appreciation for sustainability came in, and just sort of knowing where your pieces come from, knowing the person in some cases that even digs them out of the ground.
My name's Dustin Page. I'm the founder of Platinum Dirt, and I make recycled leather goods out of old car seats from junkyards and salvage yards and dismantlers. I had an idea just looking at some old leather seats in my old car, and I realized that there's probably a lot of leather seats in the junkyard that are being wasted, and they carry like a piece of our history. They're very rich. So I'm harvesting all of this leather from the junkyard to make my line of leather goods, Platinum Dirt. I like Urban Air Market because it's a good way to meet your neighbors, connect with your community again. It's because this whole movement is about, you know, neighborhoods coming together and supporting each other locally, abroad, just, you know, a global neighborhood and supporting the working people.
I think there's so much consumerism right now where it's like every season, right, you have to like buy all these new things. And to me it's much nicer when the pieces you have a story to them, or you can know who made them. So I love anytime I can have a piece that I know the person or I could meet the person who makes it, it makes the piece much more special to me. And I think you tend to get like more compliments. Like people can tell when something is made by a human.
I think the buyer appreciates it more and therefore is going to keep it and treasure it longer than a cheap necklace from some random store. So I think even if it's, you know, handmade but not from recycled materials necessarily, it still opens the door for it to be like a very special treasured piece.
I'm Melissa Small and my line is called Barrel Small. And each piece has a mixture of handmade and vintage and found me.
I'm Megan Stacy and I have Salty Fox Jewelry and I've been doing Urban Air Market for about 2 years now.
I love being around other people who are making things. It's so nice to be in a community of people who care about the same things that you do. And the food trucks are not bad either.
Totally.